Hi there, here are my teaching tips for new faculty. Starting a faculty position can be and is quite overwhelming. And it is a stressful time. There's so many things to juggle. You have to start your research program, you have to get your lab equipped, you have to hire people, you have to get to know how your department works. The list is endless. And one part of your job is also teaching. During the hiring, usually research is center stage, depending on the kind of institution you applied for. But now that you have this job, you are also a teacher. Even if you see yourself primarily as a researcher, you still have teaching duties and you should do them well. So it's important to take the teaching seriously. And so here are my tips for newly hired faculty. My first tip is maybe the most important one. You will get better at this over time. First time you offer a course, it may be a bit rough. You put effort into it, but I guarantee you the next time you offer that class, it will be better because you will find out what works and what doesn't. This is a learning experience, so the most important thing is be gentle with yourself. You've got a lot on your plate, you're doing the best you can, preparing for your teaching, and you will improve with time. Don't expect perfection right off the bat. View teaching as an opportunity to get a broader overview of your field. Some of your teaching will be more at the undergraduate level, and there naturally you will be teaching more general points about your subject, maybe a general course in ecology or biology. This of course means it's a lot of work because naturally you know a lot about your own research niche and not so much about the rest. So you will have to do a lot of reading and preparation in order to deliver a good course. But this is also the part that can be quite intellectually stimulating because you will always, of course, relate it to what you do in some way in your head. And so as you prepare for the courses and as you prepare for a broader topic especially, you may actually get a lot of ideas for your own research. So do remember that, because at first this may seem quite daunting when you have to prepare a course in general ecology or general biology, but trust me, it will be worth it. You will be getting a broader overview in the end and you will be able to make better connections within your own field. The third point is do connect your teaching with your research. In a way, the way you teach is also an advertisement for your research lab, which is just starting. For example, undergraduates may join your lab because of the teaching that they hear from you. If you're doing a good job during your teaching, undergraduates in your class may join your lab. And so this is an excellent way to recruit lab members. So, of course, not on every topic you can force this connection to your own research, but whenever the opportunity arises and offers itself, do take it. Make that connection to your own work, because it will seem so much more authentic to the students and they will love it. And you will have a much better time as well. Your excitement will show and it will be infectious. And also over time, and as you teach that class repeatedly, more and more of these connections will become evident. This has certainly happened with me. Seek input from a more experienced colleague. Maybe they will share some slides with you. Maybe they will give you some general tips. Maybe they will give you some advice about what has worked for them in the past, especially in your field. Maybe if this is about field excursions as well. Those people can be an invaluable resource. Take that advice. You will still make that class your own, either right off the bat or over time more and more. But I think it is very good to listen to previous people's experience. Also, your university likely has some sort of a teaching center. Maybe you're required to take their classes, maybe you're not, but I think it would be a very good idea to check out what resources are there locally to help you with your teaching and then take them. And the fifth and last point is also very important, I think, to take to heart. Teaching is one of these tasks that are basically bottomless. You can always invest more time. You can always make that slide better. You can always find better examples. You can always find better visual material. You can also think of much better ways of explaining things or new exercises. It is literally endless. So in the beginning, as you are getting started and you have all these other pressures of your new position, and you have the teaching to prepare for from scratch for the first time, which will also take the longest, it is very important to set yourself good time limits. Yes, you can always make it better by spending more time on it, but you simply do not have the time. So you need to be quite ruthless and say like, okay, this is it. I have until Monday at 10 to do this, and then I will call this lecture done and move on to the next one. Otherwise, this teaching preparation will completely consume your time. And it always takes way longer than you think. This doesn't mean do like only a semi-good job, right? It means at some point you gotta call it quits and move on to the next lecture or the next point. Otherwise, you will not get done. I think this is a really important point about time management when you're getting started. Yeah, these are my main pieces of advice. I hope you find them useful. Of course, there is sometimes very many other things to consider. For example, some people have different types of courses. Some people have to offer labs. Some people have lectures and seminars or exercises. And there will be many other local requirements. So maybe also a class is already ready and you just have to take over the notes. So this is quite diverse. Just find out what applies to you. But the general points, I think, are valid across the board. Don't underestimate the teaching. It takes a lot of time. It is an important part of your job, as I explained before. Good luck. You got this. Thanks very much for listening. See you next time.